I am going to try to build, try to build a Pac-Man game. Can you meant for a game that, Pac-Man style game that feel to it and should be, so we can use it in a prompt. Make this as possible using React. So I'm going to try to generate this document. Okay, looks like we're good there. And looks like we got the prompt. Let's start with putting this into Claude Code. So Claude's just setting up the project, trying to see if we can make a Pac-Man style game using nothing but vibe coding. We're going to call this one Food Man. Let's try to move this over just a little bit there, that way. Let me take a look. Okay. Visual style of Super Mario. The character resembles Super. Well, okay, we're gonna have to do that. Change that. I probably should have just said for the visual appeal because it looks like it's gonna try to make it like a Super Mario style Pac-Man. Let's see what it comes up with. Maybe it'll be nice. Anything else changed? So it's looking like it's starting to come together a little bit. Controls don't work. No collision over the elements. Okay, let's see what it does. And it's looking good so far. Just reset. It's just going through all of the different implementation things right now. Initial setup usually takes the longest. Still just waiting for it to get the initial setup. This is still off the original prompt. This is the original prompt right here. Let's take a look here. It looks like it's got some sound now. Okay. All right, so it says completed. Hold on a second to just try to get it to start the server. So let's take a look. All right, so we're going to say when the enemy hits me, the player doesn't die or life. Can you fix this? So the basic functionalities there, some sounds. I just can't, there we go. Just looks like I can't kill some of the enemies. So we'll see what it does with that. Now let's reload. It's saying it's fixed it. Let's see here. Start the server. So when the player gets hit by the enemy, it should play some kind of sound. So it makes the noise. Next thing is, let's see. The next thing is try to, the enemy should chase the player. It is too bad. Okay, so put in that logic. We want the enemy to chase the player if it's close to it. A lot of this is honestly just breaking it down into like simple little tiny pieces. So we'll see if we can we'll try to get the enemy to chase the player instead of just going on a predetermined path. It'll probably reboot this. Yeah, because right now it doesn't matter how close you are, it's just going on a predetermined path. I wanted to also add, let me see here. I needed to add another, every time the enemy dies, add a new enemy. Also add additional enemies after a set amount of time. So we'll get it to add some more enemies. Let's see if it chases it. It should chase if you're close to it. No, so the chase function doesn't work, so I got to do that. So that still needs to be fixed. It's not bad for being vibe coded though. Let's just see. Let me see if we can get this thing to work. And then let's just see what happens. So it's not, the chase still isn't working. Yeah, I don't think the chase works. Let's see here. And the spawn doesn't work. Okay, so now the enemy chasing doesn't work and it doesn't spawn new enemies. So we'll see if we can get it to do that. Everything's just breaking it down one step at a time, trying to figure out exactly what to say so it can build what you need. But it's not bad. It started with just this prompt, trying to create like a Pac-Man meets Super Mario kind of game. But we'll see if we can get this thing to go. And we're using Claude Code in Cursor. I haven't used Cursor Agent yet, but probably will when it comes to the design. Once I want it to look a little different, I'll probably use Claude Code because it does a better job. Still working on it. Okay, let's see here. More challenging AI. I'm not. Let's restart this. Start server. Try and see if we can get it to go. Let's see here. Okay, let's try this again. It feels like it's falling. Oh yeah, that's much better. A little bit hard. So that's the other thing I need to fix now. The spawn looks like it's working. So now I want it to do anytime we have a special ability, we want the enemy to run and blink. So anytime I'll say this. Actually, it looks like it's still going. So I don't want to interrupt it yet, but I know I'm going to want it to say anytime. See here, anytime we have our ability, we want the enemy to run away from us. So we'll wait for this. That's also not working. All right, so there's a couple things still need to be fixed. Let's do this now. And then now we have to fix looks like when we have that special ability, it's not working for every enemy. So we need to do that. And while we do that, let's see if we can okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to try to copy this. And then I'm going to try to see if we can use cursor now. Paste this. I want the game to be themed like the attached image. Can you design the look of the game to match this image? So I'm going to try to get it to look a little bit different. While it's doing that, still some errors there that I'm going to have to fix. So they should be running, but they're not running away, which is really weird. I don't know why that's not working. All right, let me go over here. What is it saying here? All I'm trying to do is reskin it. I gave it this as an example. I want to see how closely it can make it look something like this as a theme. And then we'll see if we can get it to work. Again, this is 100% just using vibe code, and I'm not looking at any of the code. Just accepting everything that it does and then trying to figure it out and fix it after. If I were to do this for real, I'd use like a real engine and stuff, but we'll see how far vibe coding can take you. A lot of this vibe coding too is just a lot of waiting. Just a lot of waiting, trying to get this to work. I'm a little bit worried because it looks like it's rewriting a lot of things that I don't think I would want it to fix or to rewrite, which probably means it probably broke everything. Yeah, some of these changes it shouldn't be doing, like especially all I want it to do is just change the way that it looks, not everything that it's doing right now. Yeah. Well, we're going to go with the flow. We're going to see if it does something. Yeah, this looks like it completely is rewriting everything. All right, well, let's see what it looks like now. That is not what I wanted. Not at all. Oh my gosh. How can we fix this? Yeah, that did not do what I wanted it to do. Let's go here. Let's do this. I definitely find Claude Code to be better than Cursor Agent, but okay, let's go using original instructions. Just make the game look like the example. Trying to get it to revert back to the original because what it did not, it was definitely not what I was looking for. I was trying to get it to go back to the way it was before because it did not do a good job. Probably would have been better to give it the original design example first. It's basically going back through all of its code and looking where it made changes, and it's going to undo those changes. At least that's what it's saying it's going to do. Not exactly confident it's going to be able to do that. We'll see. Like they say, you go with the vibe. I'm hoping it can put it back to the way that it was before, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. 1 second. Let's do. Okay. Yeah. This is what it was before. All right. That's good. That's good. Okay. That's good. So it did get it back to the way it was before. So it just needs to fix the rest of its errors. Let's take a look now. No errors. Now I'm going to go to Claude Code and say, sometimes when the enemy overlaps with player. The player doesn't lose a life. Can you fix? Okay. All right. So you got back to where we were before. Now that's a good sign. Now we're going to try to fix that one issue where sometimes you're playing and I went over and I should have lost my life there, but I didn't. Oh, that's good. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Let's let it work on that. Okay. So that's working. It looks like the icons change. What is it saying here? Don't need that. It's still not, it's not bad considering it has to come up with all the icons. Main menu. Let me go back. Okay. See, it's not supposed to do that. I should have died there. Okay. All right. Let's go to, where is it? Developer tools. And it wants me to go to console and it said it should have collision detection. Okay. One. Looks like it's working. No, didn't work that time. So I think the issue is an issue when the player hits the move key while the enemy is mapping that it doesn't. So the issue is anytime I hit the move key, when the enemy is overlapping, it's not detecting it. And detect see that. Let's see if we can figure that out. That's what I think it is. All right, let's see if we can fix it. Okay, so it says it's fixed. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it worked. Perfect. I'm trying to see something. I'm gonna do this other thing too. So anytime they lose a life, I think, yeah, then we just we'll get it to reset the position. Yeah, so far it came up with all of the icons, everything visually you see, came up with the sounds, and this is mainly using Claude Code. We tried using a little bit of cursor, but cursor was just giving me a headache. There is an error and can't find position name. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it works now. Let's just do refresh, start. Perfect. So the position resets, which is what you want. So that way they're not right beside you. That looks like that's working. Okay. And they look like they're running away from you. The special ability though, I want to change it so that way not all of the is run and change when the player gets starting to come together. We're just trying to get the power up to work. Just do this here. Keep all. Well, let's see what it does. But at least it's starting to work. It's starting to come together. Just move that over a little bit. And we'll just see if we can get the power up to work. If we can get the power up to work, then that might be good. Oh, and then we gotta see if it has different levels. So I'm wondering if we can get it to randomly generate new levels. That's probably the next thing you're gonna have to try to do. So that way the game just goes on indefinitely and you just keep playing and playing. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not perfect, but it's not bad to be honest. This would have taken a lot longer if I would have used like Unity or something like that. But let's see what we can do. Okay, so just making sure it can fix this one issue, and then we can move on to the dynamic level design. Fix it. There was an issue with AI states now all the name. Okay, perfect. Refresh. Start the game. So now I just need to get my special ability. Perfect. So they're all running now. I think that's good. Okay, let's see if I can actually pass this. It gets harder and harder because there's supposed to be more enemies here. 1, 2, we'll do this. Okay, next level. The next level looks the exact same. Okay. So now the next thing is dynamic level design. So now, okay, so this works. Now for each new level, can you make sure to create a level design so it's not the same level each time? Let's see if we can do this. So now we're trying to get it to create a dynamic level because we have the basic mechanics working. And let's see what it can do. But it's not bad. It's coming. I don't know. It's working. It's working-ish. So let's see what it can do now. Let's see if we can actually now create a procedural. Okay. So I don't know, it's neat. You can use these techniques to not just make apps, you can use them to make very simple kind of browser-based games, it looks like. But I really want to see if it's able to do this part, because this part here it'd be really good if it could actually figure this out. The other thing I want to try is I wonder if I had all of the assets and just built it in something like Unity and used this, if it could actually fully finish out an actual game within like a game engine or even like Godot or something. That's something I was thinking of trying. But let's see what it does. Let's see if we can actually dynamically do this. That's the one thing that you do a lot of when you're using vibe code and you're just waiting. It's trying to see what it comes up with. But the one thing I'll say that I've found that has worked when trying to build anything is you just break everything down into these very super simple prompts and then you see what happens. Let's take a look now. Let's see what it can do. I'm going to refresh this. Let me hit start. That's not a great level. That's not. How am I going to explain this? Okay. Let's try to see if we can say each of the levels should contain and style design. There shouldn't be a lot of blank spaces. There should be more paths. Let's try that. See if we can get that to work. But yeah, it looks like at least it made something dynamic, but this isn't going to work, right? There's nothing here. Doesn't really make sense. But let's see what it can do. I like that it added the timer up here so you know how long you got your power up for, though. I didn't actually notice that before. All right, so it's going to start redesigning it. So let me redesign this. Okay, so it's going to redesign it. That's right. Mazes and perfect. That's perfect. So I probably should have given it a little bit more instructions as to the design. But let's see if we can figure it out. Yeah, it's crazy what you can do now. It's pretty good. I'm really curious to see if I were to use like Unity, Godot, and like just have maybe do the level design and then have it do all the logic. If it could actually finish like an actual game, that would be, I don't know, it'd be a good use case to see if it could do that. I don't know if it can, but to be honest, it's doing a decent job at this. I'm gonna have to get rid of these two references here. We'll call it, what did I call this thing? Call it Food Man. So we'll just call it the Food Man game. So I'll get it to change all of those references too. Yeah, and it's the high scores look like they're working. Okay, let me see here. Implementation. Okay, so it says it did it. Let's do this now. Start. Oh yeah, that's better. But there's no way to, like, you can't really, actually, I guess you could. I guess you could, but this is harder. Yeah, like you're gonna get stuck. There's got to be a different way to phrase this. Okay, I'm gonna say this looks good, but can we have more interconnections so that there are more than one way to enter and exit a path? Maybe that. I think that might be the best way to describe this. Like you want to be able to have multiple access points, because if it's just like a straight line, then you're pretty well just going to die every single time. Let me enhance the level to create a much more interconnected path with multiple routes and fewer linear corridors. Perfect. Let's see if that works. It's not too bad. So how long has this been? About an hour and 22 minutes, and you have a prototype. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So just again, we're just focusing on trying to build this level out. We want to be able to have a way to just make the levels infinite. And I've tested this out with like different types, but Pac-Man is actually a more complicated game to build just because of the reactions, as opposed to what would be a good example. Like Flappy Birds is a pretty simple game. Okay, let's take a look now. I really wanted to try to push the limits. Okay, that's better, but we've got this open space. Okay, let's see here. Let's try and test it out and see if we can get like a different design. Now this game, there's going to be, I think after, I forgot how much period of time, but it keeps adding more enemies to make it harder and harder. I just don't know what the max is. I got 5 seconds. And every time you kill an enemy, it comes back. Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. This is a little hard. Let me see here. That's the challenge. Sometimes you make a game, you can't even beat it. Let's see here. 2, 3. Oh, I'm done. Okay. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay, let's go down this way. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. 5. Okay, come on over. 4, 3. I only got 1 life. There we go. Got time. 10 seconds. All right, let's see if I can get them all in 10 seconds. See if it did the game. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Is that everything? Okay, perfect. Now let's see if it made a different game. That is definitely a different level. Perfect. It's not exactly now. The collision detection isn't working perfect, so I got to work on the collision detection again. But it came up with a different level, so that's great. Okay, so the next thing, let's try to see how I can get it to collision detection. This looks good. However, now when I think it's when I am moving some of the enemies. How do I want to phrase this? I'm moving some of the enemies. Collision detection isn't working. Approaching limits. Oh, man. I have a feeling this is going to push me over the limit. So I might not even be able to finish what I want to finish. But let me see here. Approaching limits 2 a.m. I can try to use cursor, but I know cursor's just not going to get it as well as Claude Code. I should probably just pay for the better version. Okay. So right now we've got dynamic level. So when you beat one level, it gives you a brand new level, which is good. Then the next thing we got power-ups to work. We've got the collision detection still needs to be fixed. Player movement, all of that base stuff is still there. Just running right into the usage limits. That's the only thing. Yeah, let's see what happens. But it's not bad. It's not bad for a pretty decent browser game. Let's see here. Okay, that worked. So it looks like it's working. Yeah, that worked. So they're not, and what happens if I just stand still? Okay. I think that works. I think before it wanted you to be right over it. Yeah, that was good. Okay. This is actually, it's not hard. 5 seconds. 4. Ooh, I think I got 2 lives left? Oh, okay, let's see here. Let's go over this way. Oh, I'm dead. You know what? It's working. Menu. Oh, let's rename the game from Mario Pac-Man to, what did I call this thing here? Food Man. Rename the game from Pac-Man to something like that. That'll probably put me over my usage limits, but let me see if it'll work. So it should start replacing. There we go. Food Man. There you go. So it's changing the reference. It said this. Collect all the food and avoid the hungry monsters. So it knows the reference. Before it was collect all the coins and avoid the enemies. That's good. So it understands the branding too, which is really good. Starts 3 lives. So all it's doing is just renaming. I'll refresh this. Like, I'll be honest, I'm impressed. Now, obviously there's issues that we had to solve, but it's not bad for being vibe coded. You just got to break everything down. Oh my gosh. Making a game I can't even win. It's crazy. So it's still going through, it's still doing all the refactoring. Context left until auto compact 20%. Okay. All right. Perfect. Game over, main menu. So we already know. So all of that is, and there's a reference, collect all the food and avoid the hungry monsters. So that's good. I didn't test if pause works. Yeah, pause works. So that's good. Like almost everything works. Yeah, almost everything works. So that's not too bad. It's not too bad. It can definitely keep adding to this, but for a basic game, I think that's pretty well good to go. And it took about hour and a half. And yeah, it's not too bad. So it's definitely possible to build something with just vibe coding. Now, is this thing secure? Don't know, haven't looked at it. And there's probably a few other things that I'd want to improve on, but because I'm right near my usage limits and I much prefer to use Claude Code, I think I might just call it right there. This is my first live stream. I just wanted to give it a test and try to build something. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep doing more of this if a lot of people want me to start doing these things. And I'm really curious to see if I could take this and maybe use it to build an actual game in something like Unity or whatever. I really wonder if that would work. But yeah, it's not too bad. So this is pretty good. So listen, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up, share it, and we'll see if we can do another one of these. All right. Thanks so much for everything. Catch you in the next one.